Hey guys, welcome back to MkII Custom Creations, and today we have a very special video because, as you might have noticed, the video quality is a lot better. This is my review of the Canon 6D Mark II. Okay, so first things first, let's jump into a little bit about why I chose this camera and the lens that is on it right now. So I chose this camera because it is a really good option for YouTubers like me and also photographers. And I don't know, but I do a little bit of photography on the side. So I chose the Canon 6D Mark II because it's a professional body camera. It has all the features as the professional 5D Mark IVs and even the higher end, the 1DX, and all those features. It's weather sealed, so it has that protection out there. And it's just a really comfortable, good feeling body to work with. So I chose this camera also because of the Bulletproof Canon autofocus. If I wouldn't have picked any other camera company other than Canon, because their dual pixel autofocus is the fastest and most reliable on the market. I know I'm going to do the little thing everybody does, but as I move my face into the camera, you see it will stay in focus the whole time. So that's just the best part for me, and you don't have to worry about focusing issues like I had in my old camera. And the lens that I picked is the Canon EF 24-105, the non-L version, which has an f-stop of f3.5 to 5.6. Now, if you're not a camera person, you have no idea what this means, but for layman's terms, this is a wide angle to slightly zoomed in lens. Eventually, I'm going to get a 70 to 200 or something in that focal length range, so I have more zoom. But for right now, this is really good. Also, this lens is image stabilized and has an STM motor, so that means the autofocus is extremely silent. I don't know if you noticed on any other of my videos, but this is the camera that I used to use. This is a Canon PowerShot. This tiny little thing. This thing was what I used to use. Now, this thing had really loud autofocus. I don't know if you could hear it in some of the videos, but it was really, really bad. So this is going to be a huge upgrade because the autofocus is silent. Also, the image stabilization is silent too. This thing had image stabilization and it was really loud. If you heard like the clicking in the back of my videos, that's what it was from. So I'm going to switch back to this camera. This will be the last time this camera is probably used on this channel. I mean, obviously this will be my backup if anything ever happens to this, which I hope not, because this was a very expensive camera. But so we'll switch back to this one and I'll show you what it looks like and my favorite features. Okay guys, so this is the Canon 6D Mark II. This is the camera right here that I was just talking about earlier. So this is the lens that I was talking about. It's a 24-105 if you didn't hear me say it earlier. And right now it just has the lens hood on it, so I'll take that off and you can see now it looks like just a normal lens. And if you don't have one of these for your camera, this isn't the Canon brand one because those are way too expensive. They're like 20-30 bucks. But get one of these because this protects your camera from bumps and scratches, and it's just an extra protection. That's like $7 for one of these little cheap Chinese ones, and it's really worth it. And it also has photography features, not as much as in video, but it still helps from stray light coming in. So when you put this on the camera, it just turns on. I'm not going to throw it on right now. But it prevents any stray light from coming in and creating lens flares, which some people like lens flares, some people even add lens flares in after. But this just prevents any extra light coming into the lens, especially from top-down lighting like I have right now, and from just the sun in general. So if you don't have one of these, I would highly recommend getting the cheap ones. They're perfectly fine. Just make sure you get the right one for your lens because there's a million different sizes. That's a whole nother thing. Also, what you need to get is what's on here right now is another cheap protection feature, is a UV filter. So this is just a clear, there we go, it just screws on and it's a clear filter. So as you can see, when I throw it on this camera, it's way too small for it, but it just adds a clear layer of protection so you don't scratch your front element or get any dust in there. So that's just another cheap, they're like even a little more expensive at $9. Just two things that are under $10 that just can save your butt a bunch of times. So enough about the lens, let's get into the camera. So how I picked this camera is I knew I needed three things out of my camera. I needed a flippy screen, which this one has right here. Flippy screen, so I can see what I'm filming. So when I'm vlogging, hey guys, how's it going today? This is Heath's Custom Creations. I can see what's happening right on this little screen. The second thing that I needed was a bulletproof autofocusing system. That's one of the most important things. So this camera that I'm shooting on right now, which is a Canon PowerShot model, doesn't have very good autofocus. So if I move my face around, or even just normal shots, you can see it takes it a little bit to get my face back in focus. This camera, however, will auto-detect my face when I'm filming a video and keep my face in focus, which is very important in video because I don't know how many shots I've ruined with this camera right here due to it just not being autofocused. And probably the third thing that I needed in a camera was durability, because in a shop environment like I am here, I need to know that in a high dust environment this camera isn't going to get ruined. So all of Canon's professional lines are weather sealed bodies, so that means there's gaskets around where the lens attached to the body, and all the parts are high precision or have a seal like the battery holder grip on the bottom. These are all very important things that I needed when I chose this camera. So I hope that will help you guys pick what camera you guys need in the future, and that is all about the camera. So we're just going to cut to a little bit about, I'm going to show you my camera bag, what I carry with me at all times when I'm filming, and just some other little stuff about this camera, and let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to jump into my camera bag. So this is my camera bag. This is the Amazon Basics camera backpack, DSLR backpack. It was a cheap option as a camera bag. It had really good reviews, and I haven't had any problems with it so far. It has this bungee cord strapping on the front, which seems really useful for holding little objects, and it has a bunch of pockets. Disclaimer, it doesn't advertise this as a computer pocket or anything, but this is great for a small MacBook or my iPad I throw in here usually. So that's a really good option to put your computer. So now let's go into the big pouch right here, as you can see. So up here I have usually my spare tripod mount, which is actually on this camera right now. So that's why there's nothing up here. And I don't know if Amazon did this on purpose or not. Let's get this into frame. But see this little flap right here? This protects everything. So when this zipper is closed, that metal, let's see if I can get it to closer. That metal part of the zipper doesn't scratch any of your camera equipment. I don't know if they did that on purpose or not, but that was really smart of Amazon. So in this pocket, we'll just show you important things. This is a headphone splitter, which can also be used as a microphone splitter. And what else is in here is headphones. You always got to have headphones if you're in the middle of nowhere and you need to listen to something. You got to have headphones. A power adapter for Apple. You always got to have one of those. SD card reader. This isn't my main one, but as a backup, you always got to have a backup. And a spare SD card. I shoot on 32 gig and 64 gig SD cards only. I usually won't go below that because I like to have lots of extra room. Okay, so now getting into the camera bag. Right here, if you're wondering what this is the battery grip to the Canon 60 Mark II. I didn't buy this with the camera. It actually came for free, which was really sweet, and I don't use it that much, but for shoots, like if I was shooting, I shot prom, I would have thrown this on there so then I can do portraits, because it's really great for holding the camera because it has the extra button, so you're not twisting the camera and having to put your hands in a really awkward positioning. Also, it holds 2 batteries, so I don't know if you can see, open it up, and it holds double the battery power. So for video, I'm going to try this out. If I'm shooting really long videos like my shop tour, I don't know, maybe we'll try this on that. So the next thing in my camera bag is this yellow thing. This is a lens cloth. If you're a photographer or videographer and you don't have one of these in your bag, get one. Harbor Freight sells a pack of 4 of them as one of their freebies. So just get some, throw them in your bag. So moving on to the other side, I have the body cap to my camera, because you never want to leave your lens off without putting a lens on or a body cap. And this is the lens cap to the camera. I always label them. I only have one lens right now, but I've learned from school that you always want to label these so you can stick to which ones go with which lens or body. So also when they're sitting up in your bag, so if this is where this lens goes when it's off, you can see which lens it is, because all the camera backs look exactly the same. You can see which lens you need. I usually stick these together. They fit together. If you didn't know this, the body cap and this fit together in a nice little compact package. So that stays in there with a tiny little microfiber cleaning cloth. I'm a huge fan of these. I have too many of these in my camera bag. So that stays in there. This hole is usually open for a lens, or this is where I throw the batteries that are dead, because right next to it is the battery charger and 2 spare batteries. These are the Canon LP E6s or something like that. So these, you always got to have backup batteries as a videographer. Even as a photographer, you should have backup camera batteries. These aren't Canon brand, they are Wasabi Power brand. I've never had a problem with these Wasabi Power batteries. I've had them for my GoPro, for this camera now, and they've been really great. The reviews are half and half online always, because some people just abuse these things like way too much, and I don't know what they're doing to them, but I've never had a problem with it. So finally, in the center is the Canon 6D Mark II. We've already talked about it with the 24-105 lens. Nothing too exciting here. And this is really long to allow for a zoom lens, which I like because when I eventually get a zoom lens, I'm going to need it. But right now, I like to throw the camera strap over it and just tuck it on in. Right there. It seems like a really good option. And eventually, when I get a longer lens, I will throw it either in this pocket, or it even fits next to the camera. It's just not as convenient. So that is pretty much my camera bag. There's nothing too exciting inside of it. It's just normal things that you would need. I try to keep it light because you don't really want it to be too heavy. And the last thing on the side is I keep this Joby GorillaPod right here. And this thing has saved my butt a bunch of times. And since I don't carry my main tripod around me, if I want to do a long exposure shot, I don't know, if you're not a photographer, just skip through this part. But if you want to do a long exposure shot or anything like of that needs, you're going to really need one of these, and keep it on your bag, because as photographers know, long exposure shots, you can't have any camera shake or any movement inside your bag. Inside your camera and lens. So this has saved my butt a bunch of times. Also getting creative shots and even using it as a handle. This is what I vlog with. So if I'm holding the camera, I just screw it right, screws into the base plate, has a little quick release part. And this is what I do my vlogs with. Newsflash, don't have vlogs, but vlog style videos, like a shop tour, which should be coming up in the next couple weeks. This has been a big video to edit and film. And since I got this new camera, I'm going to try to refilm it to get you guys some better quality. So you're welcome. That's why it's been a little delayed and I haven't posted in a while. But this is a very necessary thing. And this bag has little clips right here, just like buckles. And they click and it just clicks to the side. I usually click it up at the top and down at the bottom and adjust them just so it can't really fall out. See, like that. So it's really not going to go anywhere. And just a tip, don't keep anything important on the outside zippers of your camera bag, because there is thieves out there, there is bad people in this world, and just trying to keep your stuff safe. And that's about it for my camera bag. So let's jump into the outro. I don't know if you can hear this, but the time that people choose to mow their lawns literally kills me. Just listen. Like, I can never win. Every time I come to film, and there's a car that drives by. That's just great. Every time I come to film, it's always like the worst time of the day. I've tried to film all different times of the day, and there's always something happening. So, anyway, this is my little short-term review of the Canon 6D Mark II. I hope you have enjoyed it. Really, oh my goodness, this person's so loud. They're just out there going for it, man. Just going for it, running over all the nuts and the coconuts and everything. Okay, they went around the corner. So, this is my little short-term review of the Canon 6D Mark II. I hope you have enjoyed it. and I will see you guys on the next one. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys then.